My Van and Melanine, and well met indeed. I'm Uruk-hai, head of the budding team behind Divide and Conquer, and welcome to the final episode of our Isengard campaign as we take down the great city of Minas Tirith. Now, I have two full armies here today, arrayed on the field before the gates of Minas Tirith, Saruman leading them, and there are 4 or 3 Nazgul in our spread across our two armies. Unfortunately, the garrison of Minas Tirith had only a single general in it, so I have spiced things up a bit, and I have created some of Gondor's finest to defend Minas Tirith, so that we can at least go out in some style. Some may call it going out in style, others may quite rightly see it as the slogfest that is about to begin. Let us hope we are up to the challenge. Now, Gondor also have some reinforcements. Do excuse the camera, this map can be horrible to navigate. Gondor have a really minor reinforcing army coming in that has 100 men in it, and that's coming in from somewhere, but Adunafel, or Hormarath, sorry, will deal with that. I have allowed Hormarath to be controlled by the AI, as I don't want to control loads, and I'll let him go in and do most of the slog work. Now, Minas Tirith, for those who maybe have never fought here before, which I imagine is no one, I'm sure everyone has fought here before, Minas Tirith has a gate halfway up. So I've disabled the battle time limit or we will never win. It's almost impossible to take Minas Tirith if they have even a half banner army. So if they've got about 10 men or more, you simply can't beat it in the timer because it takes so long to actually walk through the bleeding place. So I've disabled the timer, as you might expect, and we are going to need to send the battering rams in. But it is a battle that turns into a slog. This video will be as long as it takes to take Minas Tirith, and no longer. And then at the end, well, it'll be a little longer, because at the end of that, we will then look around the map and see what the final state of affairs is. But yes, there are 4 Nazgul. So 2 Nazgai are here with Saruman, and then 2 are over with Hormarath. And that will be the last time on this channel you ever see those Nazgul names again, because of course they were changed after this campaign went live. But here we are then. So, now if memory serves, Minas Tirith has one unfortunately glaring weakness in that it doesn't actually have... Oh no, I tell a lie, it does have towers. Oh good, I was worried that it didn't. Although, that only fired a single shot, didn't it? So, if you're interested, first of all, the army that my reinforcements is bringing to the table are incredibly similar to my army. The troops are basically the same. It's the same sort of mix of forces. So, our armies are the same. The reinforcing army coming in the corner, as I say, is only 100 men, 2 units are generals. So there are 2 Gondorian generals coming in over there with their fantastic looking shields. And then, as you can see, just a pathetic little offspring of an army that unfortunately wasn't taken care of. Oh, that was a shot and a half, wasn't it? Dear, oh dear. It's a shame that when you turn off the UI, it doesn't turn that off. There must be a button to do that, but I don't know what it is. Anyway, the garrison consists of Gondor infantry, Gondor archers, Osgiliath veterans, Fountain Guard, and Citadel Guard. The Gondor infantry, just for some variety, are not fully armoured. The Gondor archers and Osgiliath veterans are, so there will be some variation in the designs of our enemy. And our enemy, speaking of, have littered their forces, you can see, sort of throughout the layers. They've not gone to the square, so we've got to fight our way up. And this is the first time I've ever really been grateful to myself for changing all of the file names of all of the units. So instead of Gondor infantry, previously Gondor infantry were called something like Gondor infantry medium, or Gondor medium infantry, sorry, which no one in a million years would guess as their name. So I'm very pleased that I changed their name to reflect their campaign name, so it's much easier to cheat units in, because of course that is how I've done this to give Gondor its garrison, as I'm sure you're all aware. I cheated the units into existence. Right, Saruman, we want to get you involved because this is our last battle, so even if you die, it does not matter. So if we can get you forward, you're going to be on attack. If you could try and go over there and deal with them, because I can't be bothered to deal with the reinforcements, but they're taking a long time to get round, aren't they? There we are, the gate is down. It's come out at time 6. That's the best thing to send in to try and take choke points. Pikes, of course. So, pikes, in you go. You're going to be the first. Although I've told you all to go in, and I note that only one of you has. So we're going to have to go through individually. Right, so off you go. Now, there is a slight risk we won't win this. It's only a very minor one. We outnumber them massively, so we've got a huge number advantage. But I did give most of their units quite steep benefits. So they've all got most of them have got upgraded armor. In fact, all of them bar the Gondor infantry and the Fountain Guard, I think, actually. Many of them I gave weapon boosts and experience bonuses as well. Right, you hit that one, and then you guys come in and hit that one. Where are the backs? Oh, they're coming through now. They're coming through now. Those reinforcements that are coming in over there, crossbows, you're going to go deal with that. This battle will absolutely lag, by the way. There is simply no way around that. This is absolutely putting Medieval 2 to its extremes. Pushing Medieval 2 to its extremes. So it will lag. As the units start to die, it'll lessen a bit, but there will be... It will be a touch laggy. I mean, it's not going to be worse than it currently is, where it's just a little bit of lag on the camera turn there. But as I say, this is the best that we get out of this engine, so you're just going to have to light that and lump it, I'm afraid. But Minas Tirith is one of the best battle maps by far. It's one of the best representations of a film battle set, I think. Oh, what is that? Nazgûl throwing bombs over the walls. Blimey. Right, you three with the rams. I don't need all of you to bring your rams. So if the Nazgûl, if you drop yours, you go with them. Don't fire at will for now. Come in behind. 54 of you, you can lead that one, yeah. So if you guys drop yours, and then the Berserkers, you can then group up. Let's try and get you to get in there and hit those Gondor infantry. And send in the Nazgûl as well. Did they have anything else on the right-hand side? No. So everything else is in front of us, with only one unit on the wall. They get Gondor defend. How do they get Gondor defenders? They've got a full complement of units.
If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
That's interesting. They've got Gondor defenders, but it was a full banner army that I created. Ah, the other army has arrived and is dying off. In we go, deal with those. Crossbows, you're in the army because you were in the army, but you're going to be almost no use here today. And in fact, you are quite possibly the worst unit that we've actually got. Unfortunately. You might get 1 or 2 kills, I suppose, but it's not going to be anything major. Alright, how are we doing in the Great Slog? Needed a unit that could shield wall. Something that Isengard don't have is shield wall potential. They are moving those Gondor defenders through. More infantry are running down to assist. Infantry on that side. Where's the Nazgûl? Come on, let's run you through. Let's run you through. Get in amongst that number. There we are. Right. So we've got our back secured. But there is the Gondor infantry that's bizarrely gone round, and this Gondor infantry have gone onto the wall. I mean, your guess is as good as mine as to why they've done that. Uruk infantry are dealing with the threat coming from the other side there, so that's going down.
Only half the enemy force remains.
Let's get rid of those. He's talking about them, of course. The Fountain Guard are going to be the real trouble when we've got to slog our way up there. But that's why we've got our reinforcing army. Of course, Medieval 2, unlike Warhammer 2, and I think pretty much every game hereafter actually, does not allow you, the player, to control an army larger than 20 units. So if I didn't give the AI control of Hormarath, he simply would not have partaken in this fight until we started losing troops. So that is an unfortunate facet of the game that we've had to accept. I really don't want to go on the walls, but I'm tempted to send the Berserkers up there, actually. But then, no, we're not in it for the infantry. We just need to get to the town square. Give them a blast. Come on, guys. Bombs out. All of you, bombs out. Yes. No, there's plenty of you, though, and that was only 3 bombs. Come on, give me more than that. Oh, don't shoot those guys over there. It's times like this that I really wish you could do target ground. Right, let's get the Berserkers out of the way to go over there. Who the hell is shooting back at us now? Is that our own units shooting at us? Or are we getting shot by Osgiliath veterans? They've taken to the wall. With Fountain Guard as well, bizarrely. Oh, look how good they look. And with the veterans behind, it's like an actual cinematic. Oh, if only I could turn that off. Damn it. I mean, it means that they're not firing very well at all, but seeing the pikes in the front and the archers firing from behind, that's pretty cool. Anywho, once we've slogged through the gate, we just, again, a little tour of Minas Tirith for you. We've then got to climb this hill here, but the enemy is throwing almost everything down. Then we go through this gate and up another ramp. Let us hope the Fountain Guard here don't stick them out. Unfortunately, that trebuchet does not fire, which is very disappointing. Then we come to Citadel Guard, a raid before the cross back through the rock. Gondor defenders lined up there. Now, the actual general is called Camirdir, and he is down at the gate. So they're going to lose a huge morale debuff because they're going to get their general killed. And then we swindle our way all the way up here, back through the rock again, and there is the second gate, right before the ascension into the courtyard itself. So after the gate, it is just a horrible slog up a back-facing mountain path, as you can see here. Barely, because I can barely control this camera. And then the square is up here at the base of the White Tower of Ecthelion before the House of Kings. Although it isn't actually called the House of Kings. One might assume that it possibly could be because it is a house where the kings live, but it isn't actually given that official title. The only thing this battle map doesn't display, of course, is the Rathdinan, the Silent Street, and then the tombs of the kings of Gondor beyond. But Mount Mindalluin is relatively well represented, and there is Minas Tirith from above. It looks absolutely amazing, even on this dated engine. It's disappointing that some of the roads don't line up, and when you actually get to see the battle map like this, you can quite clearly see the edge of the map. But I think it is a very good battle map. Very fun. And there, away in the distance, are the Ash Mountains. No, wrong ones. Those ones are the Mountains of Shadow, aren't they? They're the Ethel Duath. Mountains of Shadow. Anyway, let us return to the fight. Enough of this dilly-dallying. Nazkai, can you please come and stand here? Pikes, keep pressing in. I haven't sent anyone else in, so who's that over there? Oh, it's our reinforcements. They are now just getting in amongst the bunch. In amongst the numbers. Have we won on the right yet? No, 3 routing generals bodyguard, but you 3 aren't fighting, so yes, we've basically won on the right. We could have brought towers as well and mounted the walls, but it's just not worth it, in my opinion. Breaking down the gate and just slogging through tends to be the best way. Fighting on walls is a surefire way of losing lots of men. Ah, the general's bodyguard made it out. Perfect. So we're not going to kill Camirdir too early. Although I note that he's not actually in that number, so we might, because he's stuck in the battle somewhere. And there he goes, Camirdir, the fearless, Kingdom of Gondor. Right, so Gondor have just lost their defending commander, which might put them in a sort of bad position. Let's speed that up. Come on, throw some bombs. Yes, that's what we wanted to see. Break up their numbers. Blimey O'Reilly, how many troops do they train from Minas Tirith? Look at the legion number. Now, this is where I show my lack of knowledge, I'm afraid, for I don't know if C is 50 or 100. I can't recall. I just cannot remember. I want to say that it is 100, in which case that would be 137. And of course, if it's 50, then that's 87. But then, no, 80 would be 2 X's before 100, wouldn't it? So I think that is 137. Feel free to chime in if you know your Roman numerals, because I don't. There's no real reason to know them now, is it? It's almost trivia. It's pub quiz information to know Roman numerals now, to be honest. Disappointing for the Romans, I'm sure, but they're not really around anymore to moan about it, are they? Now, we have got that unit behind us. The Gondor defenders are going to hit us in the back anytime now. Norwinivnir has fallen. He is the gentleman that came in from the side. Surprising that our general didn't tell us, though. Our voiceover guy didn't say the enemy general has fallen. There's some Fountain Guard over there caught in a sort of paralysis. Not sure what they're doing. Our pike lines are succeeding. Oh, we seem to have taken the wall on this side from the Gondor infantry, and we're fighting them in the ramps. Oh, and our ally is doing wonders at claiming the walls. Right, ceasefire, ceasefire, ceasefire. Let's try and get you involved and end this veteran push so that we can get up that first hill. Right, after that, they're going to be going in. Then, of course, we've got these guys to support. We've got Saruman who's going to help. And then once the crossbows have finished wasting all their bolts on the wall, we'll send them in as well. But I'm afraid, as much as this is going to be a grand battle, it's also going to be a hell of a slog. We're 15 minutes in already. We're not even out of the courtyard yet. Yes, this might be a longer longer video, but that's alright. Skip to the parts you enjoy. Whilst our enemy take the courtyard, allow me to give you a little bit of a background on Minas Tirith. Minas Tirith, like many of the buildings in Gondor and the great cities, were founded with the coming of the realms in exile, or the Sons of Númenor. The faithful in the 9 ships led by Elendil, and they landed in both the south and north of Middle-earth, and they founded Gondor and Arnor, which collectively became the realms in exile. There, in Gondor, they founded 3 great cities, Minas Anor, the Tower of the Sun, Minas Ithil, the Tower of the Moon, and Osgiliath, the City of Stars that sat between the Tower of the Sun and the Tower of the Moon. Isildur and Anarion jointly ruled Gondor together as brothers as the sons of Elendil, and Anarion, unsurprisingly, took Minas Anor as his capital because his name is literally Son of the Sun. And Isildur, son of the Moon, took the Tower of the Moon as his name. And so if you are wondering, it's not given in any clarity, but it is very much implied that Isildur and Anarion named the towns after themselves. But, I mean, why would they not? Isildur is a badass in the books, and rather done a disservice in the films, where all we know him as is the idiot who didn't throw the ring into the fire. And granted, he is that idiot, but he is also an absolute badass, and he single-handedly saves the White Tree of Númenor from the unfaithful, and almost dies for his courage, but is saved seemingly by divine intervention. But anyway, they name the towns after themselves. Shortly thereafter, of course, Sauron begins his attack and almost immediately captures Minas Ithil, and which doesn't go all that well for the forces of good. Isildur then heads north to beseech his father and the elves to come and assist and finally remove Sauron from the world. And Anarion holds Sauron back at Osgiliath, but it is not at this time that Minas Ithil is renamed. Not yet. That doesn't happen yet. But fast forward then 2,500-ish years. I think it's around the 2,500 mark. And of course, Arnor is now long destroyed, and the Kingdom of Gondor has been the sole bastion against Mordor. But Mordor, for all intents and purposes, to everyone's knowledge, has been defeated for many years. And then, almost out of the blue, Sauron attacks Gondor again, shortly before the War of the Ring, in a great onslaught, and they capture Minas Ithil. And that is when it is taken up as residence by the Witch King, who of course has long since returned from his defeat in Arnor about 1,000 years earlier. Oh no, it happens at that time, isn't it? Sorry, no, yes, it happens around the year 2000 of the Third Age, or 1978 or something like that. So about 2,000 years after the War of the Last Alliance, the Witch King returns to Mordor after having been defeated in Arnor, and he takes up command of Sauron's armies, and he besieges and captures Minas Ithil. And it is renamed anew as Minas Morgul, the Tower of Sorcery. This entire fight might be down at the courtyard, by the way, because every time a unit dies, they send another one out to replace it. And at that time, Gondor then retreats to Minas Anor and renames it anew as Minas Tirith, the Tower of Guard. Osgiliath remains held by the Gondorians at this time, but is no longer used as the capital city, for its proximity to the enemy is now too dangerous. And the capital is moved to Minas Tirith, the new Tower of Guard. And thus does it get its name. Minas Tirith, as the images all suggest here, is built over 7 levels and is from the base, so from the ground level to the tippity top of the White Tower of Icthelion. Minas Tirith is not actually that much taller than the Eiffel Tower in Paris. It is not a giant structure. We're not talking about the Burj Al Khalifa here. It is quite small, in truth. In terms of height, but still an absolutely master feat of engineering. And it is the most populated city in all of Gondor, and is now the bastion of Gondor against the coming tide of Mordor. The White Tower of Icthelion I always find quite interesting, because Icthelion was Denethor's father, or Icthelion II was Denethor's father, and the tower is named after him because he repaired it, not because he built it. So it had fallen into disrepair, and Denethor's father repaired it, and for that, simply telling someone, "Oi, go and repair that tower, here's the money," they renamed the tower after him, which I thought was a bit bizarre. I don't think that's merits having a tower named after you just for repairing it. I always assumed, before I'd read deeper into The Lord of the Rings, I always assumed the White Tower of Icthelion was named after Icthelion I, who probably built it. But that is just not the case, and I think that's just really quite interesting. So he got that honour. Now, Saruman might fall here today, because I'm going to actually use his unit for once, and get them actually into the battle. They're a fantastic unit, armour-piercing, an excellent-looking shield. They're like an steroided version of the Guard of the Orthanc, to be honest. They're crossbows. They're one of the best crossbow units in the game. I think they might be the best crossbow unit in the game, actually, in terms of raw damage. But then the armor-piercing maces with the heavy armor that they have as well thereafter helps them massively. But Saruman's not going to die in this little skirmish, for the Gondor defenders are routed and are fleeing before him. Berserkers on the walls. Let's get you off the walls. Right, enemy general. Can I get you... If I attack, like, if I do that, will your army move into the city? Because that's what I'd like. Did I just call him enemy general as well? I did, didn't I? Sorry, I mean fellow general. Much of their army has died, actually. 50% has already died, dear, dear. No, we're easily going to win this. There's no one behind us anymore, though, are there? No, because we want to get the ram in and get it ready. Now is possibly the time our Nazgul are going to die against this Fountain Guard, unfortunately. Can we try and push through them so that I can get units around the flank? Oh, we're at 1.1. I didn't realise that. Yeah, let's go up a bit faster. Right, so I'm going to try and get you guys to come down the street here. Right, all of you, now hit the Fountain Guard. You should be surrounding them, should be pushing them back, breaking up their formation. Fountain Guard in version 4.5 and forevermore are now completely pike units. There was for a brief time, they used to be halberd units, but now they are just dedicated pike infantry, and damn good ones at that. So I'm not surprised it's proving difficult getting through that gap. But it's alright, our Bane Guard are coming through. The camera seems to move a little easier at 1.5 speed. Oh no, the camera always defaults to 1 speed whenever you... The camera's moving easier because half of their army has died. Right, let's get you guys to come down here. Don't attack that Fountain Guard unit that's in front of you. Just sort of run past it. There's some Osgiliath veterans down there. We are getting shot by the towers, but they don't do very much damage. They could be boosted. Crossbows, if you come over here, there's some more units I think you can attack. Our ally has just moved out there. I don't think he'll move until the second gate has fallen. So we've got to get the gate down, and then our ally will suddenly kick into gear, I expect. Because until they've got a clear path to the square, the AI doesn't really know what to do. Now, it does know that it could bring its own siege equipment to take down the square, but it just probably won't, as there's a lot going on in this battle, and the AI doesn't really know what to do, so I'm not overly surprised. Fountain Guard unit is finally dying, and our Bane Guard have smashed into the wall, where our Berserkers will move up and assist as well. He says. No, they won't. Alright, let's send the Berserkers around the side over there then. Right, you guys, we don't actually need you against those Fountain Guards, so you're going to take the honour of being the first to the second level. So up you come. Try and get on top of that hill as quickly as possible. I shouldn't really have everyone running, but we're definitely going to win. It's just for the spectacle, really, isn't it? To see the forces of Isengard on the streets of Minas Tirith, who would have thought? Fantastic. The Tower Guard pushed right up against the buildings they are dying to defend. They do look good, though. Gondor has such a good-looking army, and I would not be surprised, to be honest, if we were to ask the population of players of Divide and Conquer, the something like 80,000 people that at its peak played Divide and Conquer, what is your favourite faction? I am sure Gondor would be #1 by a long shot. Gondor is a real fan favourite. And I wonder if primarily that's just because they get a lot of attention. They are obviously the sort of primary good guys in the film. We don't see the dwarves at all. We don't see the elves, really, not until The Hobbit, and even then it does make you want to play as the dwarves and the elves, but I mean, let's not talk about that monstrosity. But you do see Rohan as well, but Rohan you don't see as the great sort of saviours of the world, do you? You see them as almost refugees who are saved by Aragorn, Legolas, and then Gandalf. So it doesn't inspire confidence in Rohan, so I don't think they are people's favourites. But Gondor, definitely. Also, because Gondor has that really fantasy feel about it, you know? They have that feel of the downtrodden human faction fighting against all the odds to secure the safety of all. Which is why I assume as well the Empire is possibly the most popular faction in Warhammer 2. Because again, lots of people like playing humans in fantasy settings, and I'm one of them. The Empire are definitely my favourite faction. Right, we're going in. We've secured the courtyard after a bloody and vicious fight. Our pikes have finally killed off those Fountain Guard. Our units can get pushed through. The units on the walls we will hopefully keep in place, with the units that we've already got fighting them. Our crossbows have run out of ammunition, so let's get them in as well. And if we can, get the battering ram moved up. Keep the berserkers on the ram in case anyone attacks them. They're probably a good unit to have on that. We've got our ally to attack, but as I say, I don't think he's going to move till the gate goes down. Berserkers against Fountain Guard. What are your odds? We're losing and gaining the gate in equal turns. And here come our crossbow forces with their swords out. The iron fists of the orc. Now, I've seen some people suggest that Iron Fist of the Orc is the name of their sword with the very iconic sort of notch at the top. But I've also seen many people think that actually that's just quite literally their actual Iron Fist. So interpret that how you will. Right, how are we doing up here? Right, our blob of Bane Guard has met a unit of Citadel Guard, Gondor's finest spearmen. We've taken a little bit of a liberty with the Citadel Guard because I'm well aware that the Citadel Guard are a unit entirely unique to Minas Tirith. And having them as Gondor's train everywhere elite spear is a touch against the law. But we've already got the Fountain Guard and the Wardens of the White Tower coming from only Minas Tirith, so we needed something to be able to run. Something to be able to go everywhere. Right, can we again, do we think, push through there? Just sort of run through, break up their formation, get them to think about what they're doing. No, not really. We just sort of bunched into each other. Well, we've got a bit of a flank on now. But we've concurred the ire of the enemies behind, and they're coming through. Where are you guys going?
The enemy are badly bloodied. They have lost half their men.
Why can't you man that ram? Is there not enough of you? No, there you go. Yeah, get the ram. You slow-moving buggers. There we are, it's moving again. Right, Saruman, did I move you through? I did, didn't I? And we've got those units. Oh, and the Bane Guard on the wall. Forgot about you. Yeah, sorry, I just tried to move you, didn't I? No, stay wherever you are and do your dying over there. Fountain Guard are now being tied down by the Berserkers and the crossbows, so it's just on the Gondor, the Bane Guard, sorry, and the Isengard infantry. Oh, are our Bane Guard running away? That is going to be a right slog festival up there, let me tell you that. Saruman's at the back. No, you need to climb up that hill. Like, just push up into the enemy, completely surround them. Come out of time 6. There we are. It does not like time 6, but it's happy with sort of 1.5, 1.6, so we'll stick around there. Right, this is the next great slog, and to be honest, I think the last, actually. There's a unit of Citadel Guard behind, then there's the General's Bodyguard, although the actual General is dead, and that is it. No other units. Ah, no, hang on. Someone running away. Oh, it's the Gondor Defenders, isn't it? A measly little minor battalion making its way back there. Right, where's you with the ram?
The battle is very much in our favour.
Keep yourself going up
Victory
here.
will be ours.
So this really is the last fight here, then. Once these lot die, there's only that Citadel Guard and a small, ragged General's Bodyguard behind to fight on. I don't have anything. Shield wall would be so useful right now. I'm so disappointed that we don't have any shield wall units. But we will win. They are Citadel Guard and Defenders, so they're not pikes. We're not against an endless pike wall.
If we continue like
We have a lot of
this,
units
we will
on them.
smash
They're shaken as well. It's not going to be pretty for them. But the wall is going to be a difficult challenge. But I think, actually, if we move everyone in like that, get you all over there, you've defeated the... Oh, they're bringing their own ram. That's handy. So, the AI is also going to try and take the second gate now. Right, up we go then, all of you. Your one task is just to clear that wall. I have faith. I have confidence in sunshine, and I have confidence in rain, and I have confidence in the Battle of Minas Tirith. I do quite like the sound of music, I have to confess. It's one of those guilty pleasure type songs, type films. There's just something about it that I absolutely love, which I'm sure many of you would probably not expect. But I do enjoy the sound of music. And I can sing almost all of the songs off the top of my head. and frequently do when I'm cooking or cleaning. Anyway, the wall is going down. The Gondor archers, do you want to see what they look like as they're outfitted in their finery? They look fantastic again, don't they? Absolutely glorious. I must confess that I prefer this gentleman's design, who is the Gondor archer as opposed to the Osgiliath veteran, because when he stands in that bracing position, he doesn't get that sort of stretched texture. But Osgiliath veterans are an absolutely fantastic unit and have recently been given to Boromir, I believe. We gave Boromir Osgiliath veterans. Not only have we given him Osgiliath veterans as a bodyguard instead of Wardens of the White Tower, we've also now finally given him armour, which was something that hurt me for a long time, and Hummingbird finally changed him up, and I was very grateful and pleased to see that. So Boromir now wears the armour that we know him as wearing in the extended edition scene, where he gives the speech in a car park, if you've ever seen the behind the scenes actually, where he gives a speech in Osgiliath to say that this city was once a city of beauty and or something like that, and joy, and so it shall be once more. Right, the Gondor infantry on the wall is running away, so they'll get mopped up. The Osgiliath veterans are fighting on though. I'm not surprised if we have a quick look at Osgiliath veterans, if I can just find one in amongst the mire. There we are. Osgiliath veterans, they have excellent morale, I think. Oh, only good morale. Oh, that's interesting. They have a good range and high accuracy in 30 arrows, though, but their melee attack is 12 with a 25 defense. They are a perfect hybrid upgrade of both Gondor archers and Gondor infantry. But of course, it's a shame that the real fight is going to be here, the last fight, sorry. So we fought at the gate and we fought at the 2nd level, but we're not going to fight really at the 7th. It's just going to be a long run up to the top of the hill. But our ally is now forcing his way through, bringing a ram with him by the looks of it. Speaking of rams, let's get ours around the corner, and let's get Saruman to run up as well. Oh, Saruman. Pop the voice. Pop the terror, and that should get some... That should really shake their morale. General, pop your terror as well. Yes, there we are, and they've broken. So the Gondor defenders are off, but the Citadel Guard are fighting on. I think we could probably group all of you together now, to be honest. Right, and all of you fight there. No, have I just grouped the entire army? No, yes, you guys got grouped in, but you're going to die on the wall there, so that's alright. Keep fighting, keep going, guys. I have faith in you. Have we won up here? Let's zoom in. I really miss being able to zoom in. It's such an annoying feature that's being taken away in later titles. Alrighty, there we have it. So, Team 1. Oh, the Gondor defenders are pulling back. Make your way through. And get that ram through. We should be able to go to time 6 now, I think, without the game absolutely wigging out. But this is why you need to turn off the timer, because if the timer were on, we are about to run out of time if this was a normal timed battle map. So, Minas Tirith is just too large to have the timer. And also, if you're the attacking player, the timer's not really necessary. It's only there to save you when the AI is supposed to attack you and stand still and does nothing. The timer then allows you to sit it out without having to attack them, without having to lose your advantage.
The battle is very much in our favour. Victory will be ours.
Alright, as our army comes through, we're just going to send them as a blob. Let's get you guys to attack that gate. And we'll get everyone to run to the front of it, because there is nothing left that can face us now, so... I don't care if you get there shattered and weak, there's so many of you that it'll win. On such a gloriously sunny day as well, who would have thought? How you doing down on the walls, guys? You're not doing very well at all, guys. There's still Gondor archers here. Come on. Get up onto that gate, onto that wall, and hit the buggers. Alright, what happens if I do just try and move you onto the wall? Oh, that seems to be having some effect. Oh, there's a unit of infantry running away there. So we're going to have infantry running through our line behind us. And there we are. All three of them are now taking to the walls. That Gondor infantry unit has run into some half-orc Bane Guard, who've captured a few more of them. But their real problem is going to be when they walk into the large group there. But the ram is being pushed along in the line. The army marches. Oh, they've got their own ram ahead of ours. Oh, damn. The AI is going to get the ram to the gate first. I'm hoping Saruman's at the front. I think he is. He's leading our charge. There's an Uruk-hai pike unit in front of him, but they're from our ally. There they go, the guard of the hand. Very tired. As I say, I think we can probably go to 6 speed now.
The battle is very much in our favour.
Oh!
Victory will be ours.
No, they've broken. So Saruman, keep running up here then. Oh, the camera was perfect a moment ago. How do I get it back? You can't swing the camera around. There's so many quality of life features from later Total War games that you absolutely miss when you come back and play Medieval 2. Being able to independently move the camera regardless of objects in the way is one of those key features I miss. Right, first place has been taken now. Oh, and our first proper threat comes to the fore. So come out of time 6. So everyone, please, do that normal attack command. Because then the Nazkai should stop and throw some bombs. Come on, throw me a bomb. Come on. Come on, throw a bomb. Oh, I've seen one go. And it's hit a guy. And he didn't die. He's standing back up again. Come on, just throw the bombs. Oh, we've lost a unit. Oh, we're losing on the wall. You're joking. Infighting. Infighting doesn't actually really work. They don't actually fight. They just sort of stop doing what they're doing, as you can see here. Unless anyone can see any one of those actually attacking each other. It just causes a sort of paralysis. That's its only real effect. Oh, no way. Oh, no, by clicking that one unit, do I actually click their entire roster? I think I do. Have I just told them all to basically turn around? Yes. Don't do that. We don't need them. I mean, we don't need them. Where's our ram? Come to think of it. Oh, just a little way behind. Perfect. Now we're doing against the Citadel Guard. Oh, wow, they're winning. Oh, it's General's Bodyguard and Citadel Guard in one large problem blob. Saruman's in there, though, and they will not like fighting against him and his armor piercing. I can tell you that for free. So the only other fight has gone Gondor's way, and the archers have managed to win. Our crossbows have lost. But that's no concern of ours. They're miles away from the square now. We have lost 50% of our army, and they are down into their last 10%. But this battle would have been so anticlimactic if I hadn't cheated their armies in. It literally was just Kamadir. He was the only defender of Minas Tirith. It would have been awful. I can't believe it thinks victory is certain for them. I know that we're tired, but we massively outnumber them. We're coming around on the flank now.
If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
There's 92 Citadel Guard there. A much earlier version... either 81 or 131. 130 wouldn't surprise me. We're quite late in the game, and every single time a unit is trained in Minas Tirith, it gets a Legion moniker. And they just keep ticking up. We've got all of these units fighting, and still nothing to actually really show for it. Such a slow grind. There's 20 Gondor's Bodyguard, and there's now 85 Citadel Guard. I mean, this is the last bastion, though. There's a tiny little army up there which will rout as soon as we look at them. And then the army that's actually at the town square is only 4 men. Calling it an army is doing it far more of a service than it's due. Down they go. Clear distinction between the Citadel Guard with their more rounded shield and the Gondor's Bodyguard with their large tower-like shield. But the numbers are dropping. Oh, the Gondor's Bodyguard aren't dropping though, blimey.
Victory will be ours.
This is a clear example of how spearmen, whilst not really killing anything, are able to just hold lines so well. Calling in the fighting hasn't done anything. Oh no, Lord Saruman has paid. He has died. We didn't get a voiceover for it, which is interesting. Saruman has given his life in taking Minas Tirith. And what a fitting end to the campaign. In the final episode, our faction leader finally croaks. I wasn't surprised, to be honest. Generals die so easily in this game because of the way their bodyguards work. And because I don't take care of them. And I wasn't bothered. I mean, I'd be lying if a little bit of me didn't want Saruman to die here to really round out the campaign quite nicely. Alright, let's go back to time 6 and just get this done.
If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
It's still 38, says everyone. We're gonna our entire army now facing this one bloody unit. Let's just get our ally back after he spent most of his time running back down to the ground. Haha! They finally broke. They've croaked. So, armies of us all, you've got to go and rout those Gondor defenders. And then the ram is going to follow on behind. Oh, the Gondor bodyguard didn't break. They're fighting on. Which means the ram is going to get detracted. And get dropped. Is that it? Yes, that's it. Right, pick up your ram again then. On we go. If you're wondering why there is a second gate all the way up here, it's because how poorly the AI deals with the layouts of these cities. And with only having one gate, there was a major problem with the AI not actually rushing to the square. And it's an absolutely abysmal waste of a battle map to have Minas Tirith and not have the square on the 7th level. Can you imagine taking Minas Tirith by putting all your troops behind the gate? It'd be awful. Third Age Total War compromised, and they had the square about halfway up. So this gate, you'd already be beyond the square by the point you reached this gate. And then Leo, the gentleman who created most of the custom settlements in Third Age Total War, or sorry, after Third Age Total War release, the submod that created most of these custom settlements, he was the one who redid Minas Tirith and put the gate in.
It'll not be long before our enemy's defenses fall.
Down we go, down we go. And the last little stint to the square, and that will be it. So now you can join the army. And we're off. Give me that square. There is nothing but the units at the top now because the gate doesn't open for retreating units. So they just get mopped up outside the door. But it's been a tough old fight. Without our ally, I'm not sure we would have won. Although I don't know, actually, I'm not sure the ally's really done anything. He helped at the gate, though, didn't he? But who's actually going to be the unit that's going to take the honour? It is a Uruk-hai infantry.
And they're becoming tired.
Now they're only becoming tired. They've been tired for ages. They're about to pass any second now. No, those are the guys that are going to get to the top. Because for some reason, everyone else has just stopped running. And there they are, the final 4 defenders of Gondor, taking courage from the White Tree, charge off into battle, where they then face the wrong way and get brought down by Uruk-hai. It's 4 on 4. The battle begins. The first man has gone down. The Uruk-hai then split their forces. It's now 4 on 2. There hasn't been a loss on the Uruk-hai side. 2 on 1 on the eastern side. Oh, a poke to the eyes from the Gondor defender. He knows what he's doing. Gondor infantryman, sorry. He's now holding off 2. That gentleman's just reeling from the poke to the eyes. And then we've got another eye stab over here. The Gondor infantryman doing well. The Uruk-hai's lost balance. He's hammering him with blows, but that heavily crafted Isengard steel does not relent to Gondor blades. And then rushing out of nowhere, the banner of Isengard comes. The Gondor infantrymen are now very dismayed to see the banner of the White Hand fly beside the White Tree. More infantrymen pile in, and a Nazgûl breaks up the final defense. An actual Nazgûl as well, not one of the Nazgûl. And with that, Minas Tirith is ours. But it is not quite ours, because the enemy is still down there on the wall. You can barely move anyone here. Everybody up we come, up we come, up we come. Last time we commentated on a defender of Minas Tirith, I was the garrison unit. And then there was a one sole garrison man that fled from the gate and ran all the way to the square. Alright, now unfortunately we're going to have to wait the 5:20. I'm very tempted to cut it out. But then I've got to do some edits on the video. But no, I will just cut it out for you. And victory is ours. 1,602 Uruks, including Saruman himself, have fallen in the battle for Minas Tirith. 382 of our reinforcing army fell. All of Ervilin's army has died, 100 out of 100, but 6 of Camadir's units managed to survive and have now been taken prisoner. And our golden sword goes to Saruman himself. Round of applause for that. 256 kills from Lord Saruman, showing leadership from the front. And Huamarath's top spot goes to an assorted Uruk-hai infantry unit with 114 kills. And Minas Tirith, the bastion of Gondor, the wall upon which the forces of evil were to break, the salvation of the free peoples of Middle-earth, falls to the white hand of Saruman. And our campaign concludes. 45 minutes, but we'll have a little look around the map, so there's probably a good 5 or 10 minutes left yet. Interestingly, we were just attacked by Gondor, actually, on our western border, because Enid White's about to die, as you shall soon see. Oh, of course, with Saruman dead, you don't get the Nazgul anymore. I wonder if that means we're about to lose all of our generals. We shall see. We shall wipe out every living soul within. Oh, that's interesting. Hormarath remains, but the unit has gone.
Get ready for fighting. Regroup, you louts.
So,
Sleep in here.
I'm not really sure how that works. Oh, there we are. He just dies as soon as he goes. So yes, with Saruman dying, all of the Nazgul disappear as well, and we've just lost all of our greatest leadership. But that is going to conclude the campaign. The 11th year of the 3000th year of the Third Age. That is not bad going. So let's have a look around the map. Mordor did not do very well at all. They have not even crossed the river yet. They are still fighting for control of Westel-Skiliath and Caer Andros. Absolutely abysmal showing from them. But of course we did help until we took the rings. So Mordor didn't do well because we stifled them and gave Gondor a bit of punching power. Speaking of Gondor getting punching power, they also assisted in the control and crushing of Enid Wyth, and they now have Gund and Balorn in their under their banner, which allowed them to attack me there with Captain Tathar coming in Derwath. Dunland and Bree together. I don't know if they're allied. I'm assuming they're probably at war. I don't know why we need to assume. Let's just find out. Enid Wyth, you are at war with Bree and Dunland are at war with Bree and you. Yeah, so there's a nice little three-way hatred circle there where they're all attacking each other. But Enid Wyth are the ones who are going to die. And Moot Lord Neos the Fearless, the last bastion of Enid Wyth glory, holds out in Argond, where he might survive for a little bit longer, but Dunland have beaten them. So Dunland won. Bree managed to survive for quite a long time, and they've basically won. The High Elves have gone on a mad one. Knockforaclaw, Morva Tarth, Zag-Kala, Kameth Bryn. Even Goblin Town has been taken by the Khazad-dûm, blimey. And over here, the High Elves taken Oskalon and Perth and Luin, which normally fall to Ered Luin. Ered Luin have soundly kicked the Angmar out, as you would expect to see. Angmar can't really cope with the number of enemies, and particularly if bloody High Elves are getting involved. I never see that. The Northern Dunedain managed to survive, as they always tend to do, with just the few provinces they have at the start. They're a fantastic nation if controlled by the human. They're downright awful if controlled by the AI. But we're not too concerned with that. Gundabad have punched into the northern borders of Mirkwood. Torfilin and Witherboard held under their control, and Azanai held by the dwarves, however. So a nice little union of dwarves and elves holding Gundabad back. Sorry, I didn't get a drink of water before I started recording. I keep having to mute the microphone and cough. My voice goes just before I do. Khazad-dûm moving up the Vale, Meithelberg and Goblin Town. Fenholm has been taken by them as well, so they've really punched north and hit out. So actually, me thinking Aru was their last region, they actually had loads. Goblin Town being one such location, although it's currently besieged by Gundabad. Moria are basically out. They've got Tirith, they've got Osnadil, they've got Hanon Enorod, Brionost, and Khazad-dûm West, and I think they must have recently lost Goblin Town. I don't think that High Chieftain Uglak is coming to attack us. I think he's just trying to get back, and because the AI doesn't know how to do that, he's just come and stood as near to his region as he can get. Of course, we took Lothlorien out, and we are the second largest empire after Gondor, who at the start of this turn got the award for largest nation. Turning back to the forest, the Anduin have done very well and pushed Dol Guldur right out. They've only got Dantalad and then a few regions on the eastern borders of the forest, but Dale and the Anduin are squeezing them in and tightening the noose. Rune and Dorwinion very much stalemated. Dorwinion have lost Strondost? Yes, they have, but they're besieging it back at the moment with the safety of the bridge attack. They've got their heartlands. The main core of Dorwinion is still held by them, and Naburka is still currently held by them, which is interesting. Otherwise, Rune haven't really pressed around the sea at all, with Dale keeping them in check on the northern side. Erebor not really having done anything. They've not really partaken much at all. Looking southward then, Dol Amroth has Ostithil for some bizarre reason. I'm not really sure why. Can't have Tirithoros though and Haldunur, and they've upgraded Tirithoros actually, which looks quite cool. Gondor reclaimed Linhir, bizarrely, and they've managed to hold that. Gondor, Tarnost and Fanwil on there. But Dol Amroth have got Methrast, which they have also upgraded, which looks fantastic. An Amrothian stronghold. And, of course, they have Dol Amroth itself. Itheland has also been upgraded. They've held it for so long, and it is now their capital city, bizarrely. Gobel Tofelas held as well. Harad are doing terribly. Amunithel Barad Han. They've got Finabel. North of that, Imlad Karnan. But then there's these three here, and that's about it. The Ardenaim have taken all the way to Sayakan at the base there and are pushing up the coast. But the Ardenaim seem to actually have sort of stopped. Ardenaim, who are you at war with? Where's someone? Dark Lord of Mordor. You should be allied to Mordor, who should be allied to Harad, who are at war with the Ardenaim. Perfect. That's something that I really do want to see moving forward. I am just going to implement this idea that the Ardenaim are going to be neutral if you are not one of the southern nations. So anywhere, so like a line straight across. So if you're not playing as Harad, Khand, Ardenaim, Mordor, Dol Amroth or Gondor, if you're not any one of those 6 nations, the Ardenaim are going to be neutral to the people in the south, with the goal being that they will also attack Harad, but also will attack Gondor. That will be the plan. We'll either make them completely neutral or we'll make them at war with everyone. But the problem with making them at war with everyone is the AI then instantly tries to make peace, and it could just lead to the same outcome. So it might be better to leave them as neutral and just hate everyone and see how that goes. But I think that would be better, to be honest. It would create more variety when you don't play in the south. It would give more interesting variations. So that's it. 127 turns, not surprising. Isengard is one of the easiest campaigns in the game. Isengard, unfortunately, Mordor, you know these nations are simple. You always know you're going to win them. We managed to get the ring. We managed to see the Nazgûl in action. We learned a little bit about how Isengard plays, and we've got some handy notes of what to change for Isengard moving forward. I've thoroughly enjoyed this campaign, and I hope you have as well. I don't know what will yet replace it. As I say, I hope to do some DCI Last Alliance content once that actually releases, but I believe that's much later in the month. We're only on the 7th of June when I recorded this, and I think DCI doesn't come out till the end, or maybe even July, so we've got a little bit of time for that. So I might do some sort of more Warhammer related content, or we'll just sort of see how it goes. The lockdown in the United Kingdom as of this month, June, is starting to sort of ease, and I think I shall be called back into the office soon as well. So I will be returning to some sort of normality in due course. But for now, that will conclude. So thank you very much for watching, if indeed you have. I hope you've enjoyed this as much as I have. I thought it was rather fitting that Saruman died at the end here. But until we speak again, dear friends, Nevair Neden Pedimad Melonin, and farewell.